I once said this, what Mighty Jamie is also gonna say. Before I play to you what Mighty Jamie had to say about the political move and the political strategy of Floyd Shamu leaving the EFF, because according to me, I believe it's all opportunistic and it's all about positions. And those people are gonna sit back and be like, nah, positions don't matter, this is not about, it is about positions. Everyone is in it for political positions and influence. If you don't believe that, then maybe you are believing the psyop and the propaganda and these politicians are trying to feed you. Because if it wasn't for positions, why are they in positions of power fighting for political positions? Look at this guy, but we're going to speak about him, Vusi Khosa, who has recently left the MK party to be elected as a big position person in another political. But listen to what the great Mighty Jamie had to say about this.
But at a political level, I think that if you're Floyd, and this is where I understand the move. If you're Floyd and you're looking in the EFF, you are deputy. There's no space for up at this particular moment. Malema's still relatively secure as president and CIC. Then you think, okay, but I've got a lot of young guys who are hungry, who want to come up, who want to have this position, this positionality, or even to be at a more senior level, direct things. So I've got no space up. There's young blood coming for me from down there. Only other way is to go out. Was he going to have a space in academia? I don't think so, because Floyd had a lot of spats over the years with vice chancellors, etc., etc. So I don't think that they would be very embracing of him to come on to VETS or whatever the case may be, right? Because EFF even would have confrontations with the vice chancellors, and some of the people viewed that as Floyd is doing it, right? So I think that there were bridges burnt in academia, which maybe he has opportunities internationally, but now, unless you go back to the ANC, which also may not be viable under President Ramaphosa. Maybe at a later stage, that could have been an option, but not now, not here, because then DA and other coalition partners are going to say, we just spent all this time saying these guys are the barbarians at the gate, and now you took Floyd, who is the intellectual of the machine. It's not going to work. So that leaves him with MK. If you're on this, there's a debate about how progressive is progressive, but if you're on this progressive caucus side of the equation, if EFF doesn't play out for you at this particular stage, all you have is MK. But you have something valuable to offer MK, because people who come from big institutions don't know how to do a startup anymore. Somebody who comes from SABC cannot do what you are doing because they don't know how to get it going, right? Because if somebody from SABC gets fired tomorrow and they say, I know I'm going to start a YouTube like Dr. Season Before, they're not going to be able to do it, because there are variables to starting something which are different. SABC, if you're one of the big names, or even JJ to a degree, right? You rock up, your producer sets up everything for you. You just get your makeup done, you take your notes, and you do your thing. To start an entity requires a totally different skill set. It requires teachability, humility, patience, things that people at the top don't always have. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you look at a lot of these Brian Molefe types around Jacob Zuma, they don't have the expertise to start a party from scratch. They've never started a party from scratch. They've been guys who were executives for a long time. They also don't have the youthfulness to be able to go back to day one fundamentals. But Floyd has had 10 years of experience in a startup. It's like getting Sam Altman, to come and work for Microsoft. He brings all of the startup entrepreneurship of open AI and AI in general to your enterprise. I mean, obviously they didn't bring him in like that, but they are working closely with open AI, right, as Microsoft, because of the fact that they recognize we're not going to be able to replicate what these kids did from scratch without this kid. So Floyd has a value to MK.
Absolutely.
Which is why even now when they put him as the SG, I said, this makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Because he has that institutional knowledge to be able to bring that to them. So strategically, the decision made sense.
And I think he's going to
Yeah,
I think he's going to tear it up there
we'll have to see.
in the SG position.
Let me tell you something. When Alex Ferguson resigned or retired from Manchester United, I said I'm giving them 3 seasons. Otherwise, I'm out. I'm going to become like an occasional fan because I need to see what they do.
Yeah.
And as much as I've given all of this analysis around, he was in the startup, he saw it from scratch. We're still going to have to see.
Yeah.
I'm partly confused by all of these moves.
I think we all are. It's a confusing time. It's a confusing on the governing coalition side, because no one's ever seen this before. It's confusing in the opposition because we're all like, whoa, EFF, that was a mainstay for 10 years, is very different. MK is new. It's an era of uncertainty.
What's confusing me is also the time that this is all happening in. This because everything is happening all of a sudden, so soon after the election. I actually thought if there were going to be any moves, these would happen closer to 2026 local government.
I think we just haven't even begun to see the true shifts. Like ANC hasn't started its shifts. Everything is just people are waiting to see. DA, I think we're going to see shifts. So in many ways, I think this is just a taste of what's to come in South African politics in the next few years.
Drama, realignment.
As we end, I mean, you've also joined MK, so I mean, just for the record, that was a joke, everyone.
It was a joke. It was a joke. No.
It's true. There's no need for you to go against this. Floyd Shamu saw that in the EFF, there's no other higher rank he can go because he has hit the ceiling of his political rank within the EFF. He's the deputy president, and then there's no way he's gonna be the president. The ground forces will never vote for him to be the president to begin with. There's no one who believes in him to be the CIC of the EFF. He would be dreaming if he thought that was going to happen for him, because that was never going to happen for him. So as an ambitious man like anybody, he would look at other prospects from other political parties, other opportunities elsewhere. He couldn't go to the ANC. He couldn't start his own political party because he can't gather people. He can't raise a force. He has to go where a force is already raised and jump and act like he's something there, where he didn't even contribute anything in the raising of an army. Just came there and became the general of that army without raising and knowing how to raise it. So he couldn't do his own thing. So he had to go to the MK party. MK party. Now he's the Secretary General. So he's moving bit by bit. He started as a national organizer, Secretary General. Lord knows what he's going to be after all in the MK party. So it is about positions. Even him being the Secretary General of the MK party while he's coming from a deputy president position, it's still a climbing hill because the MK party is still in the formative stages. If you want to act like those people who talk like about Mnchama and so, they want to convince us that they don't want positions. No, they want them. They're just not given positions. They're just not believed in to be given that opportunity, but they do want them. Why did this man, Mr. Vusi cause, why did he leave the MK party? He joined the MK party after he was chased away from the EFF because of failure, because of lack of being competitive. He couldn't gather buses. Then Bamxosha with EFF, he was that incompetent. He went to MK party, started bashing the EFF, thinking that bashing the EFF will get him positions. He was left insignificant, didn't get anything. Then now, because he sued that, hey, I didn't need positions to be someone, to be seen as an influential person, he went and joined the Labour Party. Now I think he's the Secretary General of the Labour Party. So you want to tell me it's not about positions? Come on, it is about positions. But it is what it is. Believe what you want to believe. Thank you very much.